Welcome to the Biz Gone Social podcast. We help entrepreneurs navigate how to get known, get customers, and get the edge over their competition. Here is your host, Lorraine Duncan.
So here we are on the Biz Gone Social podcast, and I am so glad to be here. And my promise to you, as always, is I want to give you a little bit of verbal caffeine that's going to energize your social media marketing and your business and help you stay social. Because after all, don't you want to be the business that everyone's talking about? I know I do. And I am so stoked to have here a colleague and someone who's doing an amazing work out there, Zak Clayton. Welcome, Zak.
Hello, Lorraine. How are you?
I am awesome. And how are you doing today?
I am just peachy. I'm inspired by a story that we just heard that you just told me about your cousin, and like I said, I want to thank you and your family for the service of your cousin, and especially after his difficulties and his life work. It's stories like that that really encouraged us to do what we do now. So.
And Zak, you're kind of in the business of paying it forward. So tell me a little bit about what you do and how you help people.
Well, community pay it forward. It started after I was ran off the road on my motorcycle. I was left in a ditch for over 7 hours, suffering fractured skull, busted up face, and a broken neck. I also lost the hearing in my right ear. Well, when I woke up, I opened my eyes, and being the typical biker, the first thing I thought of is, oh my God, how's my bike? Second thought was, are my boys okay? Let them know Dad's here. Dad's not gone. And then, of course, my third thought was, seeing all the people around me, it should have been, oh, this is great. Look at all these people. But my thought, Lorraine, was, oh my God, how scary would it have been if I would have woke up and no one was here? And so at this same time, we had horrific natural disasters going on here in northern Colorado with forest fires. Then we had just a flood of the ages. It just wiped out tons of infrastructure. I mean, it just really hurt us bad. And then we had another forest fire. Well, we were still dealing with that. And then along comes this whole COVID thingy that really made life difficult for small business. So, I was just trying to find a way to where we could take and strengthen small to medium business and help people who might be in a difficult situation.
And how do you do that, Zak?
We simply take and we talk to our small businesses. We get their stories. We were, as mentioned before, we were talking before this, I get to know you a little bit more. And then that way I can try to introduce you to people who are looking for your business. The goal is someday, Lorraine, to have a list of, no matter what you need to do, you can find businesses on our website, which is communitypayitforward.us. Once again, that's communitypayitforward.us. But when you're looking to get something done, we ask you to go to our website, find somebody who will fulfill your needs. They give us a referral, and then we ask you to go to our missions page, which is people who have asked us for help. And we will give 80% of that referral to those people who need help. The customer tells us who they support. I love what people do in the big stores as far as, if you round up to the nearest dollar, we're going to give to this cause or whatnot. But it's never local. We want people to be able to tell us who they support.
That's awesome, Zak. And, I feel like it's so important. There's so many people that are out there struggling. When we were talking earlier, I shared with you about how just what people do to make ends meet. Someone who, is a COVID tester and another person who is an Uber driver, and they put their two salaries together and and that's how they're surviving. So it's always I'm really excited to get to know you better and be able to maybe assist in whatever I can do to help pay it forward too. And with that being said, here you are, your day to day now. This is it's kind of something to live for, something beyond yourself. And what do you love about doing what you do? What is it that, that you just, I wouldn't want to be doing anything else?
You know what? Somebody asked me once, and this is kind of a long drawn out answer to it, but somebody asked me once if I had been successful in business. And of course, the first thing when you hear successful, the first thing you think of is, no, so far this has been a financial train wreck. I'm still working on all my disability, all this other stuff. So no, this is not, wait a minute. That's not true. Because I've had people who have written notes back to me saying, we had nothing and you gave us hope. You gave us clothing. You helped my kid get through sports by helping them, by helping find jerseys for teams and stuff like that. So really, look, I love helping people. I love doing things that are a little off kilter. And make people kind of go, huh? Kind of look at it like, wow, okay, I'm not sure if I would do that. I am that guy that will do stuff like that. One example is we took our queue off Facebook, and I had some great friends of mine, and we decided that, you know what, if you give us $1 and a share on Facebook on this certain day, we were going to go on ahead and meet at a local establishment here, the Windjammer, and if you would meet us on that day, we were going to break an egg over our head. Okay, just something fun, something to do. It literally took, and we had 5 different people who were signed up to do this. So it was only going to be $5 that we were going to give away to somebody, but it was $5. Well, it literally took, or I'm sorry, $50, but it literally took like 10 minutes to get the $50 and the 50 shares. So we said, let's double this, and then we'll draw a name out of whoever donated. Took a little bit longer, took about 15 minutes. I mean, and we already had $100. So we decided to change it midstream, but we didn't tell anybody. And what we ended up doing was taking 3 cases of eggs to this event, and we told them, $1 an egg, you come up, you crack them on our skull. Lorraine, we ended up raising $379 for a family who had lost their little girl to leukemia. The dad came up to me and gave me a hug, and I'm covered in egg slurpee, whatever you want to call it, egg gut from head to toe. And this guy came up and he gave me a hug and he said, why are you doing this? You don't even know me. And I said something that I wasn't scripted. I wasn't ready for it. But the simple answer was, do I need to know you to care? No, we don't. We don't need to know people to care. We need to know that as humans, there is one race in this country, and that's the human race. We all get sick when it gets too cold. We all get miserable or can die if we get too hungry. It takes nothing to put an old hoodie in your car and give it to somebody who's struggling with the cold. It takes absolutely nothing when you cook way too much food. Throw it in the old hillbilly Tupperware, an old butter bowl, put it in the microwave for a minute, and then go give it to somebody on the street. Those are kinds of things that, people always think, well, helping people means money. Not all the time. Not all the time. And we can do this by having people shop with you, and we can raise money for people who need help simply by taking a referral fee and turning it into a lifeline.
That's awesome. I'm going to switch gears a little bit because we always talk about the glamour of what we do and all the good things that happen while we're doing our businesses. But what would you say is, in doing what you're doing now, what would you say is probably the biggest challenge that you have?
the challenge that I had, and I hate being the broken record every time I say this, but I still 95% of my the money for this company comes through my disability. And with a mortgage and with everything else, I have to be very, very chintzy with everything that I do. I have to be very careful on what I spend any money on, because if it's not an absolute necessity, I have to try to work around it. So, financially, I'm really, really struggling, but, and that one's tough. But the other thing is, as a solo person, because I can't bring somebody on, the other biggest thing is taking and wearing as many hats as I have to wear, and trying to remember, and you and I will get a kick out of this one, trying to remember where I'm supposed to be or who I'm supposed to meet with and where they came from. That was another thing, I mean, it's just a lot of times you just, you lose yourself a little bit. And with the guy who has continuing head issues, a lot of times that just brings on frustration and anger and just.
Yeah, you have an amazing story. And I totally get it, is that, sometimes it's hard to be doing everything yourself. And so I'm going to switch gears again and almost to the end of this right now. But one question I love to ask my guests is tell us something that most people don't know about you.
Oh, that one's difficult because I'm kind of an open book when it comes to it. If people ask me a question, I'm never afraid to answer it. So, But
I'll trigger this a little bit. I'll give you something that you could, I'm talking about, there's people on the phone and on Zoom that are listening to this, and they don't really know you well, other than the stories you just told. So go in that direction, is tell them something that they may not know about you that might be important.
Okay, well, I think the biggest thing is that I have and will continue to work with people even if it doesn't benefit me right now, as long as it benefits the people we're trying to help. I have faith, Lorraine, in what we're building together. And I say we because I'm a guy who put this together. And like I told you earlier in a discussion, if you don't give business, I'm a guy who gives away free clothing. People donate clothing to us and we give it away for free. I don't own it. I'm not a thrift store. We give it away to people who need it. But I'll sacrifice my own business a little bit to get people to join us so we can together defeat this problem of people in need and not having anywhere to go. So against the advice of some very, very smart people, they tell me you are leaving so much money on the table. But let's be honest here, there's times when money's not the most important thing in the world.
Absolutely. I mean, I always say to myself, it's what could I do for free all day? But I wouldn't. Okay. And there's a couple things that I would do for free all day. So, I mean, I always think it's really important to do what you're passionate about and do what energizes you, because at the end of the day, it really is all about you, because you're the only one that you have to be happy with.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what other people say, or if they say, oh, he should be monetizing this, or he should be doing this, or whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah.
And one of the sayings that I love the most is, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. Because if we've got people in our communities who are unhealthy financially, fiscally, whatever it is, mentally, physically, everyone's going to hurt around them. Okay, because it's never just one person that feels someone else's pain. Everyone else around them feels that pain as well. So let's get together. Let's find solutions together to help people And we can improve the lives of so many. And it doesn't take thank God, it doesn't take an act of Congress.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of business owners or entrepreneurs or people who are starting up or people leaving corporate and starting up. If there was one piece of advice that you could give them, what would it be?
Don't do what everyone else does. If you do what everyone else does, you're not going to stand out. Be original, be yourself. You know what you're capable of. You know what you're not capable of. Stick to yourself, be yourself, and take pride in it. And that would be it. I mean, simply don't do what others say because others are successful. You're not someone else. You are yourself. Do it. Be open to what people say, but be yourself. Be honest with yourself because you know your limitations better than anyone.
Absolutely. There's this meme out there that I've seen on social media where everybody's like at ballet school, 5 girls, and they're all doing their poses and everything. And then there's that one girl on the end that's not even doing ballet, but she's just wildly jumping in the air. And when you said what you just said, that made me think of that meme. So yeah, I just want to thank you. Thank you for being my guest. I am honored, actually. You're probably one of the few people that like inspired me to do better, to pay it forward, to be kinder to someone. So with that being said, I know that there are plenty of people that you probably resonated with. So one more time, why don't you give how we can get in contact with you?
Well, I beg you to go on ahead and just check out communitypayitforward.us. Once again, that's www.communitypayitforward.us. Or you can always text or call me at my phone number, which is 970-909-0751. One more time, that's 970-909-0751. We love answering questions. We love connecting you with people. And our partners are just great human beings because all we're looking for are people who are tired of looking at people suffer and are looking for a way to help everyone, because that's what we're trying to do.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you for being my guest. And by the way, until next week, everyone, I will talk to you soon. See you next week. Bye now.
Thanks for listening to the Biz Gone Social podcast. Find us on Instagram at Biz Gone Social for extra tips. Check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, stay social.